And locust control. So before starting with the proceeding, I will continue the technical and then formal session. So Bismillah Rahman Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad, lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Say, He is Allah the One, Allah is eternal and absolute. None is born of Him and nor was He born, and there is none like Him. So let's continue with the formal proceedings. So for the beginning of this particular workshop, dear audience, I would like to start the opening session, and then I would like to request Professor Dr. Muhammad Jalal Arif to please come on the dais and continue the welcome and overview of locust in Pakistan. So please.
Who is merciful, compassionate, and the master of the day of judgment. First of all, I would like to acknowledge and thank Mr. David Hunter, a locust expert from Australia. He traveled long way to address our faculty and students, and Mr. Daniel, who came from Germany. And I'm also grateful to my colleagues, faculty colleagues, students for joining us this seminar. So we will try to learn more from Mr. David Hunter, but just for the opening remarks, what has been happened in Pakistan with respect to locusts. So I will talk few minutes on the global and the national overview of locust infestation in Pakistan. The locust has a long history in this subcontinent. In 1926, major locust attack, 1952, major outbreak, and 1960 locust outbreak, invasion in June, and 1992 a mild locust attack, and 2019 severely locust attack. As I was talking to Mr. David Hunter, we have a long history of locust invasion in Pakistan. In 1960, the armed forces of Pakistan took part in the operation with the help of aircraft for aerial spraying of locusts in Pakistan. Management Authority reported that 61 districts nationwide were severely affected by the locusts in Pakistan. This is the profile picture of locust attack in the province, in different districts like Pakpatan, 23.4%, Bahawalnagar, Lodhra, Kachi, Haran, Lucky Marwat, Tank, and Benazirabad. The desert locusts affected in Pakistan and different Asian countries like Afghanistan, 0.12 million areas affected, and similarly the Pakistan 0.26 million. It is the Balochistan which is the main entry of the locust from Iran. The Chagi has more area which was vulnerable to the locust attack. We did our best with the help of Ministry of Food Security and Research and Department of Plant Protection, Karachi, was the main player with the collaboration of University of Agriculture, Faisalabad and Department of Agriculture, Extension Wing and Pest Warning. They all jointly worked together to combat with this menace and to address this catastrophic and cataclysmic condition which was faced due to the locust in Pakistan. Haritothian, Melathian, Dian, Armed Forces of Pakistan, Ministry of Food Security, Department of Plant Protection, and jointly they enforce a national emergency in Pakistan. There was a threat of food security in Pakistan as the locust was out of control. The government of Pakistan established National Locust Control Center with the help of Ministry of Food Security and Research. The control operation in Balochistan, Pasni, Gwadar, Turbat, Uthal areas in the Iran, Pakistan, and we found some population of locusts. Surveillance and monitoring of locusts. Thanks for all for patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Very informative introduction to the locust problem as you had it. So what I'm going to be talking about initially is integrated pest management of pests in general, what some of the latest developments that are occurring, and then I will also then talk later about the specific ways we can do integrated pest management in better ways for locusts. Okay. This works? Whoa. Okay. Why do we need integrated pest management? Well, of course, there is pest resistance to chemical pesticides. There are health risks associated with pesticides for agricultural workers and for the consumers of the products, their foods. These are ones that we've known about for some time, but there are some really important reasons in that there's been a dramatic reduction in insects in many parts of the world. A study by Santos Bio and Wuquis a few years ago found that one of the real reasons for the decline in insects, there's been increased chemical pesticide restrictions, and some pesticides are even banned. For instance, if you chlorpyrifos is still allowed to be used in cotton, but rice you cannot use chlorpyrifos anymore, because if you export that to Europe and they hello. The real thing is that if you have some of these banned chemical products in your exports, any trace at all, and the whole shipment is banned. And we were talking to some exporters when we were in Karachi, and he said he had one of his rice export, the whole consignment, because of a pesticide being present in it that should not be used in rice. And I do suspect that was chlorpyrifos. And the other reason that you want to meet international SPS standards and use integrated pest management is that high value markets pay more for their produce, which is good for the farmers, good for everyone in the supply chain, and good for the exporters. So everyone wins. A really critical thing, which is being worked on, is the updating of the pesticide legislation. In 2019, the rules were improved, but the Act is still 1973. Years before any of ISPCM or SPS had even been thought of. So the Act needs to be updated to reflect what the modern standards are. And essential is random inspections and checks to endure trust in the whole system. Remember that inspections are not there to detect breaches. They're there to ensure that you meet the standards. Okay, so integrated pest management that promotes non-chemical use, as I said, is the summary. It's regular monitoring plus forecasts of possible future increase, leading to preventive management, early intervention and preventive management, beginning with non-chemical methods and chemical pesticides almost as a last resort. And it has to be adaptable, applying the latest best practice to ensure safety to the standard, international standard.
Few minutes we have for the question and answer session. So before the question and answer session, first of all, I would like to welcome Professor Dr. Mohammed Sarwar Khan, Dean Faculty of Agriculture, UAF. And then I would like to request, sir, please come on the dais and then say a few words of wisdom about the IPM strategies and locust management regarding this particular workshop. Sir, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Jalal Arif Sahib, and delegates, national and foreign delegates, dear students. This is really indeed a very special moment that you all gathered here to discuss a special issue, that is locust. Locust, you know that in 2019, it was really a serious threat in Pakistan. And it invaded like the overall, you can say, in Balochistan and Sindh and even Punjab, Rahim Yar Khan, these districts were really affected with the locust. With this desert insect is really becoming a serious pest in Pakistan. So this is really very timely organized seminar, or you can say the workshop. The reason being because this summer is going to start, and summer is really a season for this particular insect. So, I mean, Dr. Jalal came to me that I have to say a few words. So, because I had an overlapping meeting, so I had to go there. So, I'll not take much time of yours. So, with these words, I welcome you all the participants, national and abroad, and hope that your stay will be comfortable here and the audience will enjoy your company. Right? Thank you very much. Thanks.
My question is regarding the SPS measures. Regarding the SPS measures, you know very well the situation of Pakistan, where we are standing, and you have already explained much about Pakistan scenario. So you repeated again that there is the trust deficit. We should make it clear that the exports of Pakistan's are being rejected at international level. So my point is that how can the developed countries help Pakistan regarding the SPS measures? Why they cannot build their setup at the entry or exit point of Pakistan, so that we could also see that the consignments which are being rejected because of the maximum residues limit are correct, so that we could also develop trust on the developed countries that the consignments that they are going to reject are because of the MRL levels. So because in our country there is not much developed facilities at the seaports or any other points where our exports are being carried out to other countries. So why developed countries can't build their setup to test the MRL levels at the sea points?
My thought on this is that we, in Pakistan, more testing can be done, all right? Asian Development Bank is really interested in helping set up such laboratories. But remember what the point of testing is. You will never be able to do the 100,000 tests that Europe does. But what you've got to do is ensure the trust. And so it means that the sampling is not there to detect breaches. It's there so that you know if you're a producer or an exporter, your reputation will be harmed if you get pesticide residues in your system. This will be a slow, step-by-step process. I understand that completely. And you do not need to have large numbers of testing facilities. But you need to have a testing facility like we have in Australia that is, it's private, by the way, not government, because private does a better job sometimes. Anyway, but not just that. It means that samples are taken randomly by the government and given to that. And so therefore it's a completely independent process. And that's what really engenders trust in the system. We'll move there step by step, okay? And to me, the next steps that we're being involved in is pest identification. Get that accurate so you're using the right chemical against the right pest. You then get the information available.
Ability that we can establish some buffer zones among different countries that the locust can pass to another country, to establish a buffer zone.
Locusts can migrate 300 to 500 kilometers in a week. No buffer zone possible. No. They just fly right over any buffer zone.
Muhammad Ashir, and my question is about that. What are the IPM strategies that we can utilize to cut down the migratory routes of the locust? As you already described in your presentation that the China is using fungus like Matricium and Varia bassiana to control locust as a biopesticide. So what are the developing countries use these biopesticides in Pakistan for controlling the locust?
Okay. So what happened was that a major use of the biopesticide in Africa was in Somalia. And you know, Somalia is much more or less a failed state. And so what happened was the FAO, realizing that Somalia couldn't do anything very much, brought a consultant in who did the treatments to international standards. And we need to discuss really what is the best way for Pakistan forward. But I'll discuss that a bit more here, okay? You have two ways of getting international standards in place. One way is you can try and implement them yourselves, and the second way is to get international consultants to do it for you. Okay? And so we will look in both types of ways, okay? Very much so. And remember, this is part of a longer-term strategy for improving integrated pest management, improving locust control, and we do not have all the answers. And even if we do have some answers, we have to adapt them to the Pakistan situation. So, thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Daniel.
I would like to make a short amendment related to the MRL, although I'm going to talk about this afternoon more in detail. To avoid the misunderstanding, the MRL is just a technical value. It's not a toxicological value. That means a product that has exceeded the MRL under certain condition, that means how much is finally the toxicological value for the specific pesticide, you can still use it on the local markets. That means it's not a complete failure, but it's for educating all those involved in production and trade to keep the residues as low as possible for everybody. But I will focus more on this afternoon.
So thank you very much.
Coaching, where, look at how dense these swarms. It's actually like the locusts that were present here. And after a period, we were able to induce the world's best practice in treating. Here we have very dense locusts roosting on vegetation. And as I'll show you, treating of roosting locusts is a very efficient way. So Argentina,
sides but below MRL. Secondly, we must get rid of banned products. Thirdly, he said that for locust control we need continuous monitoring and warning system. So these are the important things, and no doubt we had a good information and knowledge sharing session. I congratulate Department of Entomology for organizing this workshop in collaboration with Asian Development Bank and CAB International. Thank you, ADB, Asian Development Bank and CAB International, and we look forward similar collaborations in future too. Thank you everybody being part of today's workshop.
Thank you, sir. So now I would request Professor Dr. Jafar Chiskani, Director of Audit, sir, please step forward. So, respected guest and then the respected audience, so thank you very much for this particular attending this event, and then we had a very nice overview. So, no other dignitaries and the department entomology faculties, they will move forward for the laboratory visitors, and that will followed by the particular refreshment.